Alright, so picture this. Ontario sitting on $80 million worth of American booze, locked up in storage like it's the world's most expensive time capsule, and the Liberals are over here saying, hey, maybe we should, I don't know, do something with it. Revolutionary thinking, folks. Truly groundbreaking. Welcome back to Canadian Insights, where we cover the stories that make you go, wait, that's actually happening. Today, we're talking about Ontario's liquor lockdown, charity proposals, and why your favorite bourbon has been MIA since March. Spoiler alert, it involves tariffs, politics, and a whole lot of whiskey collecting dust. So here's the deal. Back in March, when Donald Trump decided to slap tariffs on Canadian goods because apparently trade wars are his love language, Doug Ford went full patriotic mode and pulled all American alcohol off LCBO shelves. Beer, wine, spirits, all of it. Gone. It was Ontario's version of you can't sit with us, but for booze. And honestly, bold move. Very dramatic. Very Doug Ford. But here's where it gets interesting. That alcohol didn't just vanish into thin air. It's been sitting in storage for months now. We're talking about $80 million worth of Jack Daniel's, California wine, and craft beer just chilling in some warehouse like it's waiting for the world's saddest happy hour. And according to the province, about $2 million worth of it is going to expire in the next 6 months. Yes, expire. Because apparently, even alcohol has an expiration date when you ignore it long enough. Enter John Fraser, Ontario's Liberal parliamentary leader, who's basically raising his hand in Queen's Park going, excuse me, but why are we hoarding alcohol like doomsday preppers when we could be helping people? His proposal? Sell the booze. Donate the proceeds to food banks. Help Ontarians who actually need it. Pretty straightforward, right? You'd think so. Fraser's pitch is simple. Why let perfectly good alcohol sit there aging like a fine wine nobody asked for when you could turn it into real, tangible help for communities struggling with food insecurity? Food banks across Ontario are stretched thin, inflation's still hitting everyone's wallet, and here we are with a liquor stockpile that could fund a whole lot of grocery hampers. It's like finding money in your couch cushions, except the couch is a government warehouse and the money is tequila. Now, before you start thinking this is some no-brainer slam dunk, let's talk about the politics here. Because nothing in Canadian politics is ever as simple as it seems. Doug Ford pulled that alcohol as a statement. It was symbolic. It was Ontario saying, we're not going to sit here and take it while you tax our stuff. And to be fair, a lot of people supported that move. It felt good. It felt defiant. It felt like we were doing something. But now we're 9 months in, those tariffs are still a thing, and the alcohol is still sitting there. At some point, symbolism has to meet practicality. You can only make a statement for so long before it just becomes a really expensive storage bill. And let's be real, that alcohol isn't coming back to shelves anytime soon. Emily Hoogeveen, spokesperson for Finance Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy, confirmed it. US alcohol is staying in storage until further notice, whatever that means. But here's the kicker, they're currently exploring options for the products. Translation? They're thinking about it. Maybe. Possibly. We'll see. So what are those options? Well, Fraser's charity idea is one. Seems pretty solid. You sell the booze, you help people, you don't waste product, everybody wins. But there are other possibilities too. Maybe they hold on to it longer, hoping tariffs get resolved and they can bring it back. Maybe they negotiate some kind of deal. Maybe they just let it expire and write it off as a loss, which would be the most government thing ever. Who knows? The province isn't exactly being transparent here. And let's zoom out for a second because Ontario's not alone in this mess. Most other provinces banned American alcohol too when the tariffs hit. Alberta and Saskatchewan jumped on board in March, then quietly reversed course later. They basically said, actually, we like money more than we like making statements, which, fair. British Columbia, Manitoba, the Atlantic provinces, they all took their own approaches. It's been a whole patchwork of booze bans and political posturing across the country. But Ontario's in a unique spot because of the sheer scale of the LCBO. It's massive. It's one of the biggest alcohol retailers in the world. So when Ontario pulls American products, it's not just symbolic. It's a real hit to suppliers and a real inconvenience to consumers. And now, months later, it's also a real pile of inventory sitting around doing nothing. Here's the thing. If the Ford government actually cares about helping Ontarians, and not just looking tough on Trump, then Fraser's proposal makes a ton of sense. $80 million could do a lot of good. Food banks are struggling. People are struggling. And yeah, maybe selling off the booze feels like backing down or admitting the ban didn't work, but sometimes you've got to cut your losses and pivot to something productive. That's not weakness. That's just smart. But if the government digs in, keeps the alcohol in storage indefinitely, and lets millions of dollars worth expire, then what's the point? You're not sticking it to Trump. You're just wasting resources and missing an opportunity to help your own people. At that point, it's not about tariffs anymore. It's about pride. And pride doesn't feed anyone. So what happens next? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. The province is exploring options, which in government speak could mean anything from serious consideration to absolutely nothing. Maybe they'll sell it. Maybe they'll donate it. Maybe they'll hold a giant province-wide clearance sale and we'll all get cheap margaritas out of the deal. Who knows? But one thing's for sure, this story isn't over yet. If you want to stay updated on all the wild, weird, and weirdly important stuff happening in Canadian politics, make sure you're subscribed to Canadian Insights. We post multiple videos a day because honestly, this country gives us way too much material. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next update, and drop a comment below. Do you think Ontario should sell the booze and donate the money, or should they keep it in storage as a middle finger to tariffs? Let me know. I'll catch you in the next one.